Hey guys, Jack here. Stick around after today's episode to hear how new clients can save 50% on AgYield's full suite of consulting and technology for 2025. This exclusive offer is available now until April 1st. Don't miss out. Terms and conditions apply. Check out the video description to learn more.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's 11:20, and this is the AgYield War Room. I'm Dan Dempsey, and I'll be moderating this session. As always, if you got any questions or comments, please feel free to drop us a line in the chat area, and we'll be sure to get to it during the show. Let's get a quick rundown of the markets here before we get to the numbers. May corn's up 5.5 right now, 458 3/4. New crop corn's up 3/4 at 443 1/4. May soybeans down 3.5. 1019 3/4 is the last. New crop November is down 4.5 at 1024.5. And May Chicago wheat's up 9 1/4 at 537.5. Got the much anticipated planting intentions and stocks report out here this morning for corn. 95.33 million acres. It's about 1 million less than the estimate. Soybeans came back 83.49. Estimates were looking for 83.76, so slightly lower than the estimates there. All wheat acres, 45.35. That's less than the 46.48 estimate. Spring wheat, 10.02. Cotton, 9.87. On the stock side, corn stocks, 8.1. Just slightly lower than the estimate. Beans were at 1.91. which was just a touch higher than the 1.901 estimate. And all wheat stocks 1.237 versus a 1.215 estimate. Really a nothing burger by all accounts here, guys, in terms of price action. We've rallied, we've broke, and now we've kind of locked ourselves into some bull spreading in corn, and new crop beans are kind of starting to edge back towards the lows after trading up to 1038. So Ben, I guess, maybe give us a few of your initial thoughts here, and then we'll put a bow on the day here.
Yeah, I wouldn't read too much into today's price action. The report was, I would say, pretty close in line for what people were expecting. I thought the corn number was a little on the high side of what I would be expecting. That being said, the trade has been selling corn and buying beans in anticipation of this. And no one really got rewarded on the report. So we see some covering in corn. It is above its 200-day, but again, end of the month, end of the quarter. You don't know if they're looking to cover some stuff here. People got a little overextended on that trade of selling corn and buying beans. I'm more interested in the guidance that we see on Wednesday from President Trump regarding tariffs, and kind of see how this thing shakes out over the week. It was interesting to note that on a new low, on the flash, on the lows of the day, it was not a new low from Friday, that only about 1,200 corn traded when we made a new low on the day. So there wasn't a big appetite to lean into it further. People probably just really overextended on the long bean short corn trade, and the report gave them what they wanted, but the market was not going to really pay anyone. So I would sit back and watch it for a little bit. I like the fact that corn is rallying on a really, I would consider a negative report on new crop and a neutral report on old crop. Maybe we're going to start transitioning to looking at weather. There's certainly some threats out there. Massive rains in the eastern Corn Belt are forecasted. So hopefully we can get out of these doldrums, bring some volatility back. Maybe entice managed money one more time to come back in and take some length ahead of the growing season. I look at the corn acre or the soybean acreage number, and people will be pumping out their balance sheets here in the next few days. And the bean number really, to me, is one that I think there has to be perfection. Corn, you got all the acres planted they have. We're really going to need something to shake some panic buying or people to get really nervous. So I would expect corn rallies to be met with, some pretty big walls of offers as if we start to work into something that's supportive news-wise. So hopefully we can get some positive guidance on Wednesday and kind of take that cap off, that pair of handcuffs that we have in the grain markets right now. and start focusing on weather moving forward. So those are just my thoughts. No one got paid today that's been putting that trade on for months.
Yeah, our friends at Ag Bull Media, I tend to agree. I'm a big vol killer. Rylan, you made mention of that right after the report, that the long option guy can't be sitting here feeling that great post-report.
Yeah, it's it's that time of the year though where you can take that kind of a risk, and you may be paid for 20, 30 days, and if things were to change, you'll give it all back in the first half of one day. It's there's a lot out there, and volatility sellers can be hurt in both directions. I think we've seen the macro inputs from the new administration having a tough go on our markets. How much more severe will that get, or will they back it off and we run into some concerns weather-wise? And we have some big up days coupled with some big corrections. That's where the vol seller really gets hurt. I'll be interested to see how they close it today, but I wouldn't put too much stock in it either way. I think you've got people right now that are exiting a trade that they expected, which was low bean acres, high corn acres. It was priced in, it would appear today. End of month, end of quarter. There may be an agenda to mark some of these products to get the quarterly mark. And then we'll start back kind of trading these markets. And I think after Wednesday, you start to get a little better feeling for where we're at.
Jace, guys, go to the fields, go plant it now. I mean, that's kind of what we're left with.
Yeah, sorry.
Anything else?
A little technical difficulties on my end. So I kind of missed what you guys were talking about. Yeah, it's a dud report. Yeah, just enough acres, I guess, for this report for corn and beans. So we've already, I think to Ben's point, caught the end of it there. Kind of feels like we already traded it. I'm glad that the price action seems to be holding in there. It feels like the market was going to buy this report either way, which is, we'll see how we close. I think we talked about this morning, right? Like if it was a really bearish report, we were kind of leaning it was a buy. If it was a really friendly report, maybe a fade. But this is just kind of that number right in the middle where, just not too exciting. So.
Yeah, we're back to watching the news, which kind of sucks, but that's what we've done for the last month and a half. Out of Washington, that's going to be kind of our driver. We're going to argue about weather, and we're going to argue about tariffs and trade deals. I mean, that's kind of our reality right now.
Yeah,
there's not much else to talk about. I mean, weather's going to have to get drastically different probably to change that narrative. Like we talked about on this morning's show. I mean, Central Illinois has been going, and they're guys they're starting off pretty good. It was dry in a lot of areas, so it's not like planning delays and things like that are creeping in right now.
Yeah, and it could just be like for a continued bear market. You kind of look at the bear markets of the 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Those years you had you needed a little bit of weather to get the market excited, but they were selling opportunities. Right. And you kind of, if you zoom back and you look at the price action, it was kind of a chop, right? You'd have some seasonal moves and some price, things to take advantage of. But if we plant these acres, we get it planted, we're low enough, I think, where there's not a lot of incentive still for growers to sell it until we make a crop. And I would imagine you're going to have some of those, maybe not great opportunities, but you'll have some, running in shorts and things like that, some things to do on moves. A lot of time still, but I guess that's where my head would be like, okay, if we're going to plant these acres, that's a lot. With a good yield, it's going to be too much corn, but we still got to trade the seasonal, market. So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Very good, fellas.
Yep.
Yeah. Tommy, he got bit by the first day ski trip. So.
You should have seen me the first day. This is like the second layer. So my kids, I put it on my kids and then I forgot to put it on myself. So
that's right. Always give them the life vest, right? All right, guys. Well, that's we'll get back to it here. Real quick one down. We still got May corn up 5 1/4. Back into corn, Deese is up 1/2. May beans are down 3 3/4 now. New crops down 5 1/4, and wheat's pretty much up about 9 cents across the board. So With that, thanks everybody for taking the time here this morning. And we will be back 8:15 Central tomorrow morning with our regular show. We appreciate everybody that tunes in. If you wouldn't mind, throw us a like, certainly subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything to do so. To keep you up to speed on everything that's going on with AgYield. So again, thanks to everybody that tunes in. We're doing it live every morning that the markets are open on X, Facebook Live, and YouTube Live, 8:15 Central Time. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the thoughts and comments. Hope everybody has a great day. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
At AgYield, we know that farmers are constantly confronted by new challenges, and 2025 is no exception. Markets are volatile, margins are shrinking, and lender confidence is in free fall. Farmers need industry support now more than ever, which is why we are offering something truly unprecedented. From now until April 1st, new AgYield clients can access our full suite of consulting services and cutting-edge technology at 50% off. This is more than a promotion. It's our way of extending a hand of support to farmers when they need it most. From precision grain marketing to innovative risk management strategies, we're committed to protecting your farm's profitability and building a stronger, more sustainable future. And together, we can weather the storm ahead. Visit us today at agyield.com or call 855-266-6241 to get started. Terms and conditions apply. Check out the video description to learn more.